Hi guys, I'm back to do a video for some people over at myscraproom.ning.com because we're having a challenge this week to create this KWerner design that is a mini pocketbook. So when you open it up, it's got this cute pocket here. It's got these two little pockets in the middle, and then it's got another pocket on this edge. I created this last pocket because she said we could design the last pocket the way we want to, so I made it kind of a double pocket, but really it's one long pocket here with a way to get the tags out, the holes punched there. And then there's like a binding that goes on the edge. Okay, so this is what we're creating today. And you need one 12 by 12 piece of paper. I chose this one because it's got two sides. I'm not sure which side is going to be dominant. I'm not really concerned with that, but for the video purposes I wanted to be able to see it. So the first step is that you would cut it directly in half, a 6 by 6. So starting out with a 12 by 12. So you're just going to line it up with the 6 and cut it right down the middle. Next step, you're going to bring in your scoreboard, or if you don't have a scoreboard, however your preferred method of scoring is, you're going to score at F4 and at 8 on both halves. So 4 and 8 on that one, and 4 and 8 on that one. You also need the small piece that's going to be the edging. This was the binding on the other one. And we're going to cut that one at 6 inches. Line it up with a 6. I'm just using white as a contrast. You can cover it later, I can change my mind. 6 by 2 and an 1/8. And the reason why we're doing 6 by 2 and an 1/8 is because we're going to bring in our score, and we're going to score it at 1 inch and 1 1/8 inch. So it's 2 and an 1/8 inch wide, and we're scoring at 1 and 1 1/8. So we're putting that 1/8 extra on the middle because that's going to give you the room, that, see that edge, that's going to give you the room on your spine. So when you put the stuff inside of your little book, your little pocket book, it'll give it a little bit of room to grow. If you want to make that wider, and you have to do it exactly this way for the challenge for this week, but if you're creating more for yourself or just for fun, if you want to make that wider, like a 1/4 of an inch, because you're planning on embellishing the craziness out of the center, like, by all means, make it bigger. Next up, you need to take the 6 by 12 pieces that you had, and you want to do an accordion fold, which means one side is up, one side folds up, the other side folds down. And you can bone fold your creases if that's what you like to do. Same with the other side. Okay, one's going to fold up, the other side's going to fold down. So what you're left with is two patterns that are zigzag. Now take your two papers, and the one, when they open up like a book, put them back to back to each other so that they go like that. They'll come together, and as they're hanging down, like it shows in the picture on Kay's website, they hang down kind of like crooked frog legs on the bottom, or they create a diamond together. These are the pieces that we're going to glue together. Okay, so I'm just going to put it down. I'm going to flatten it out at this point, and I'm just going to leave that side here. I'm going to show you where to put the tape. Now this is still laying flat, but I'm just going to open this up like a book. And where you want to put the tape according to her design, where she stapled it, was right here and right here, just before this fold. To make this, it's going to end up being 2 pockets here. So I'm going to put a little bit of adhesive right here, not crossing that fold, and on this side not crossing that fold. And then I'm going to carefully line them up so my folds match. And then I'm going to put that down. Let's give it a press together. Okay, so there are my frog legs, and I have a center pocket right there. Now the next thing that she has you do is cut this right up the center up to that fold to create those 2 pockets. So I'm just going to turn it this way. I'm going to set it on my cutter. And this is 6 inches, remember, so we're going to go in 3 inches. And then we're just going to slice right up the center, right to that fold mark. Don't go past there. Okay, and that creates, I didn't go all the way through on that one side, there we go. That creates those 2 flippy pockets. Now we already have these 2 sides taped down, but we want to create the rest of these 2 pockets, so we need some adhesive on this side here and on this side here to close them up. And I know she showed it with staples, but I'm going to show mine with just some adhesive. And I chose some skinny stuff, so when I put tags in them, the tags can be a little wider. So I'm just going to put my sticky tape right on that inside edge there. And close it up. I got a little extra tape on that edge. I'm just going to cut it off. And then a little tape on the edge of this pocket. Now if at this point you have a circle cutter for these 2 right here that we're going to cut the edges, we're going to cut this little circle, half circle off, that won't go through 2 pieces of rather thick paper, before you glue those edges down you might want to take that flap up and cut them separately. Mine's going to actually cut through because I've tried it before, and this should be a 1 1/4 inch punch. So you're going to give it a punch on each side about halfway through. Okay, so now you've got your 2 pockets and your 2 punched half holes. Okay, I left this in the same position on purpose so that you could see how this went, because I was a little confused by this part myself. You're going to take the 2 flaps and just set them up so that half of the card is on each side like that, and the flappies are in the middle. And this is the part right here next to this flap on the side that you're going to cut. Now, I could use my other trimmer, but I'm just going to use the scissors. So it's this right here, and I'm just going to turn mine around so it's easier for me to reach from the side, and I'm just going to cut really close to that line right up to that spot, okay? And then I'm going to flip it back around because I want you to see that was where she cut it. There's your flap, and she cut it from the top down to that center part, and then she folded it over. This is where having double-sided paper turns out kind of cool, because some of that paper is going to show here. And before you put the rest of it together, she does say to put in your brads on this side. So I'm just going to tuck this little black cushion underneath, and I don't know, let's see, I'm going to go down with mine. I'm going to do 1 there, one there, and one there. I'm going to put my brads in right there. Okay, I got my last brad in. This is the reason why you want to do it before you glue anything down, is because these need to be pushed down from the back, and it's much easier to do when you have an open surface to get at it and then flip it back over than to try to get that inside of a pocket after it's already been glued down. Okay, the following step that slightly confused me was that we want to create, there's a back of this pocket missing here, and that's this flap folded underneath. That's going to create that, the back of it. So we need to adhere these two edges to make that a pocket. This side is open, this side is glued, and this side is glued, or stapled, or whatever you're using, but I'm using my glue, so I'm just going to close this and open it up from the back, and you want it here and here. So that's where I'm going to put my adhesive so that that closes. Right here and across the bottom. Create that pocket. Now I have a little extra adhesive hanging off the end. I'm just going to fold it in. Okay, and then you're just going to close the back up on that pocket, flip it over, and that pocket is made. So you have that pocket made, and you have the two center flap pockets made. And now we're going to move on to this one on the right. Now Kay's design shows that these last two are going to fold under against themselves and make one large pocket coming in from the top. So we would adhere this long side and this short side, because this is our edge, so that's already adhered. This side and this side. If at this point you want to alter this page and make it your own, I would suggest cutting out your circles or anything that you want to, cut out or add at that point that you would need to do before folding it that you wouldn't be. Okay, well, I know I'm up to about 10 minutes because I've been cut off. And I forget where I'm at, so I'm just going to start where I left off. We're going to build this very last pocket. And like I said, the only thing we have to do is put adhesive on this side and this side. So I'm going to flip it over and open up that pocket from the back side. And remember, this is your fold, so you want to put adhesive on this side and this side. The bottom and the last side. Just close it and open it back up, and there's your pocket. And this one we're also going to take that punch and we're going to punch somewhere close to the middle, that little tab right there. So when we open it up, we've got that pocket, our two little flippy pockets in the middle, and that last big long pocket on the edge. And remember, our 6 1/8 binding goes on the outer edge, and you would just put your adhesive on the edges here and put that on. And that's your book. So I hope that this was helpful for someone. Anyone who is not a part of my scraproom.ning.com that isn't doing this as the challenge, or anybody who is new to my channel who just saw it. This is not my original design. It came from KWerner Designs. You can find her online. I'll link her below. And it's just a really cute, fun booklet. You could, I suppose, make several of them and put them together and make your binding system a little bit wider and make a little mini album out of all these kind of simple pages, and it's super easy to do. So I hope you'll give it a try. Thanks for watching. Subscribe if you like it, and I really appreciate all of the people who follow me on a consistent basis. See you next time.